Alright friends, welcome back to another technical analysis. It's your boy Sean Don here. We got Anthony Helmstetter throwing the hammer. Before we get into this, I just want to let you guys know that if you're interested in a technical analysis of your own, go to www.gripandrip.co. Alright, sign up. It's $20 for a one-off sort of thing, or $15 if you want to subscribe. Get one once a month. And, continuous technical updates, reforms, input, changes to be made. So, yeah, that's it. I just want to get into it. Quick little spiel there. Got to market myself, because if you don't, who will? But yeah, let's get into it. Let's take a look at Anthony's video. I muted it because uh, there's music playing, so I don't think you guys should be able to hear it. Yeah, two-turn. Pretty smooth. So, right off the bat, Anthony, I just want to let you know that two-turning the hammer is okay, but I think you need to at least three-turn at the very least. Like, you don't need to perfect your two-turn before you go to the three-turn. I think you just need to start with the three-turn like right away, because that's an actual throw. A two-turn hammer throw, it's so long, the hammer's so far away from you that it's almost impossible to build any sort of speed or acceleration without kind of building bad habits. If you basically, there's not much rhythm to it. If you do a three-turn, there's some rhythm to a three-turn. There's some rhythm to a four-turn. But one turn, two turn, there's really no rhythm there, and I don't think anybody should be two-turning as a competition technique, and therefore you really shouldn't be training it either. So that's just my input. I'd go to three turns. I don't know what part of your season you're in. I don't know who your coach is. I don't know what your whole deal is, but two turning, just get into three turning as soon as possible, and then practice it. Because let's be real, if you put it off another season, that's time wasted that you could have spent learning three turns. It'll help you out down the line. Think long term. So, uh, important input there. That being said, this is kind of a weird view of the angle. I'm used to seeing like from a zero, from the back of the circle, maybe the front of the circle, maybe the side of the circle, 90 degrees, or maybe even like a 45. This like reverse 45, like what would that be? 225 degrees is an odd angle. That being said, we're gonna do it. We're gonna get to it. Like I said, the whole throw itself looks pretty smooth, and the foundations seem to be there. Um, so like in your winds, you're pretty centered. You're facing the back, shoulders level, hips level. You're shifting with the hammer as it moves. It goes left, you go right, vice versa. As you come through on entry, see, so this is why it's not the best angle, because you can't really see this left side at all from right here. The left shoulder looks a little bit up, but I can't exactly tell because all you see is this right side. That being said, the orbit, with it being a two-turn, it does need to be a steeper orbit if you're going to get any sort of decent release on it. So yeah, I'd say that like if this were a three-turn or four-turn, it looks like the hammer's pretty steep, and you can see the ball is almost hitting the ground back here. But if you're doing a two-turn, that's what you have to do. So there's no point in flattening it out. But if you do go to three turns, flattening it out might be in your best interest. That being said, like it looks pretty connected, like you're pretty patient for it, you're waiting for it. You can see your head going a little bit early, pulse back at 0, head's pointed to 45 after. Left side's a little bit ahead, but like your feet are very stable, your hips are very stable, you're leaning back. That's very important here. You can see yourself leaning back as the hammer goes through 0. You see this left side opening up and rotating. That's really good. Your feet are turning together for the most part. Late double support turning together. Left side gets a little early there, while right side stops turning and stops turning and then stops turning, sort of. So you can see this left side kind of turning by itself. That means the left side's kind of taken over. The right side at this point is behind. It is no longer connected, so that means you're not going to get as much power out of it as you could. And that's kind of, once again, the problem. Starting with a heel turn, it's like a weird sort of setup where to really get that heel and to get all the way around, you really need to have that right foot down really long. And if you aren't used to turning the right foot and you don't have enough strength or enough energy into the system, this right foot's going to kind of stall out. And I think that's kind of what happens here. So you see this left foot turns almost to 180. This right foot's back on the ground. funky position here. I don't think my body would do that personally, but like you're pretty connected. Your hips and shoulders are facing the ball. Just these feet are kind of wonky, pointing in different directions. And then as your hammer goes to single support, like this position looks pretty good actually. You can see your shoulders nice and long forward. You can see you're reaching out. Your hips are going towards the hammer. You're stepping forwards with it. Like I said, some of the foundational stuff you kind of got down. That's why I think you could go to 3 turns right now. You catch. Eyes are a little bit ahead. I'd say kind of keep your eyes back in the ball or keep facing the hammer. You catch. Yeah, and then from there you can see your left shoulder still up a little bit. I can see the left shoulder being down a little bit might help. I think, like I said, this left side, left shoulder, head, kind of turn ahead is going to create some tension. And then as you go through 0, like I said, it's just a little steep, but 2 turns, that's kind of what you got to do. And then you can see, so this is where, like I said, you can't see the left side right now, but towards the end of double support, right here, boom, you can see this tilt in the shoulders. This left shoulder is higher than the right. That means the left shoulder's tight and doing all the work. Once again, and same thing you see is in the first turn, that left foot kind of flops open, is pointing to 180, especially a discrepancy here where you can see the right foot's kind of pointed backwards to 45 after 0. Left foot's pointed ahead, probably 135-ish, and then hammer's somewhere in between, but your chest and hips are still facing the hammer. So you got to kind of, the feet are just an indicator here. That doesn't mean your feet have to be perfectly aligned all the time in the throw, but I think that's a general indicator of connection. And then from there, you do a good job of catching that right side up for the most part. You're traveling forward through the circle, which is good, but you can see the same thing here. This net's in the way, but the head is turned ahead on this catch. You're kind of disconnected from the hammer with that head. And then you catch. You don't quite complete a full rotation here. So you come around and you step forward and it looks like you're putting down your foot as early as possible. So you catch, your foot's a little bit closer to the sector than the left foot. And then because of that, you're leaning forward a little bit. You're gonna be having a hard time getting this right hip up into the throw, I think. And then you can see here this left side gets much more dramatic. This head's almost 90 degrees ahead of where the hammer is. That's not ideal. Like I said, in terms of connection, you want to wait for the hammer, feel patience. You can see this left side really coming strong through here. You get a little tight. I don't know. Once again, it's not the best angle for this, but I'm sure the arms look a little bit tight. You can see a little bit of bend in the elbow there. Get your hips up into the throw. Left side strong. But then, yeah, you can see because this this right foot lands a little shallower than the left foot, you block yourself out. And then that's why this left foot needs to come off the ground. And if it comes off the ground to keep you in the circle. So you want to think about completing a more full rotation, getting all the way around, landing more even with the feet, and that'll help your hips line up a little bit better, and you'll be able to stick the finish and be able to have a little bit better balance. So, yeah. Overall, like I said, the biggest takeaway, do 3 turns. That's all it is. You can do 2 turns just fine. You should be able to do 3 turns. Outside of that, all you have to do is be more patient, okay? Control the left side a little bit. Chill it out. Let the hammer get ahead more. Flatten out the orbit, and that's all you need to do. And you can do 3 turns. You're probably going to add a meter or 2 within a few weeks, I'm sure, once you get it figured out. And like I said, think long term. What are you going to be doing 2 years from now, 3 years from now? 4 turns might be a big jump, especially if you're not used to doing a toe turn. But 3 turns for sure is like that's a competition technique. 2 turns is not a competition technique in my mind. So sorry if that has flustered anybody out there, but that's just my take on it. You can take it or leave it. But yeah, so that's it. Let me know if you have any questions, Anthony. If anybody else out there would like a technical analysis, once again, www.gripandrip.co, just $20, and get all of your technical feedback that you've ever dreamed of, perhaps, from your boy Sean Don here. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Until next time, signing off.